Hello. Y'all, listen. Give y'all just a minute or two to get the notifications that Holly Brock is live. What? Y'all know I don't be going live. So you know this is going to be good because I don't do lives because I don't like them. So we will wait a little bit because I need y'all to get in here. Tag somebody, let them know that your girl is live with a quick word, y'all. Trying to contain my excitement as I share this with you. So we'll wait just a little bit to see if I get notifications, if anybody is joining us. But if not, if you are watching this and you catch this on the replay, please type replay in the comments. Let me know if this bless you. Also, make sure that you are sharing this on your timeline, because if it blesses you, then I am absolutely sure that there may be somebody that you follow or who follows you may also be able to benefit from this. So come on in, tag somebody, let them know that your girl is about to give you a whole word, right? I know many of you have already gone to church today, and prayerfully you got a word in church, but listen, this word has been wrestling with me in my spirit. So I decided to stop being disobedient on this Sunday afternoon and share with you what God gave to me, because I'm telling you, I don't like lies. But then when I get on here, I'll be like, I'm only going to be here, 5 or 10 minutes. And then 45 minutes later, we done preach, right? But I'm trying to do better with just, saying what God is saying. Let me know you're here. If you're watching, I like to interact with you guys. So say hello if you are on and you are watching. Can't see my comments right here. So let me maybe pull up a second Facebook page so that I can see my comments. Hang tight, y'all. Let me get another page pulled up so we can see the comments. Because I can't see y'all. See, 2 people are watching, but I want to be able to see my comments. Thank you guys for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon just to hop on here. All right, there we go. Let's get these comments pulled up so I can see y'all. Sometimes Facebook don't want to tell you, or it's hard to see anyway, who's watching and what's all going on. So anyway, all right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and say what I need to say, and I am getting right on out the way. Again, if you catch this on the replay, please let me know that you watch this. I'm gonna share this with you guys really quickly. All right, so here we go. Hope you guys are doing good today. All right, there we go. So, as many of you know, we are right here at the end of the year. And many times when we get to the end of a fiscal year, now mind you, we already crossed over into our spiritual Hebrew New Year. But as far as the fiscal year goes, many times we get to the end of the fiscal year. When we get to the month of December is when we typically sit back and we reassess the things that we have had God to accomplish in our lives throughout the year. But when we find ourselves in the month of December, it's typically where either we can look at the year and we say, you know what? God has done everything that he promised me throughout this year. I'm good. But there are more times than not, there are more of us that when we come into December, we are looking over the year and we find ourselves disappointed because we can say, you know what, God, you haven't done everything that you promised for me. But what we do is that because it is the end of the year, we will go ahead and hang our hat on that. And then we'll say, well, God, because you didn't come through, then I will put this on my list. I will put this on the prayer request as I move into the next year. But I just want to let you know that as of today, we still have 21 days left in this year. So don't you dare sit there and say that the year is over, because it is not. God is still able to do whatever it is that you're needing him to do right here at the end of this year. Now, wouldn't God be able to get more glory out of your story if he chooses to show up and show out here in these last 3 weeks of the year? Would you dare get your faith up and give God to move in your life? Would you dare move yourself out of the way and allow God to show up and show out on your behalf? Because when we look at where we are, many of us have found ourselves discouraged. We found ourselves disappointed. We've already said God can't do it because there's only 21 days left in this year. God only needs a moment in your faith. God, the God that we say that is omniscient, that is omnipresent, the God that we say that is the Alpha and the Omega, the God that we say that is the beginning and the end, the God that we say he is the Lord of lords and the Kings of kings. If he is all those things that we declare and decree out of our mouth, then why is he not able to do what you need him to do in 21 days? 21 days. There's a saying that goes that you can break a new habit, you can break an old habit, or start a new habit in 21 days. 21 days. So let's look at the biblical significance when we look at the number 21, because I like to give y'all like practical stuff. So when we look at the number 21, and I had it on my phone, but because I'm using my phone, I am going to pull it up so that way you guys can know what it means. Let me find it. Hang tight, because I want to tell you, because I want you to get excited. Hang on 1 second. I should have had this already pulled up, but you know, that's the thing about going live. You know, you with me while I'm doing it too. We are right here, so we're going to do this together. Hang on, because I got it on my phone, but I'm trying not to close my phone and see if I can find the one that I used. All right, so we'll do it this way. So when we look at the number 21, it is a multiple of 3. So let's look up the biblical meaning of the number 3. All right. So the number 3 biblically represents divine wholeness, completeness, and perfection. The number 3 represents divine wholeness, completeness, and perfection. So now let's look at the number 7. The number 7 also symbolizes completion or perfection. So 7 times 3 is 21, right? So 21 is a multiple of 7 and 3. Both numbers represent divine completion and perfection. So if I am telling you that we have 21 days before the year is out for God to do what he needs to do in your life, that means that not only is God going to complete that thing, but he's also going to perfect it. But we get so caught up and we shift our focus and attention to another year and we count God out. God says that he's not done just yet. He's not done. He has 21 days to make that thing complete and perfected. So if we say that God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we could ask or think, that means that the thing that he's going to do is going to be perfect. It is going to be perfect. But y'all, here's where I got excited. Don't get excited just yet. That was good. But here's where I got excited. So I was praying the other day, and you know, I'm one of those people that, you know, I talk to God like he for real my dad. You know, it wasn't one of those deep, you know, holy thou art Father. You know, I had questions, you know, just because of the season that I'm walking through. And if you followed any of my gem revelations over the last couple of months, I've been talking a lot about transition. And when we are in transition, it can definitely be hard to see God, because God will typically say, do a thing or go to a place that I'll show you when you get there. So you may even find yourself right now walking off some hard instructions that God gave you that don't make sense. It doesn't make sense why he told you to do that. It doesn't make sense why he told you to go there. We are in a season and time where we have to have enough faith in God that we don't have to see it before we believe it. We must be able to believe God before we even see it. It is the same principle that applies to be able to believe God here in these last 21 days of 2023. Getting back to my point. So I was praying, y'all. Like, I was praying hard. I mean, I was Elo, Momo, Father God. I was going in. But I asked God a question because I was not able to see him moving in my current situation. I was not able to see his hand in what he told me to do. So this ain't one of those situations where I'm asking God to move and what Holly wanted to do. No. God, I am doing what you told me to do, but why don't I see you? So I asked him the question. I said, God, now you told me to do this. And I asked him, I said, where are you? I mean, where are you? Right? Y'all know what he told me? He said, I'm in the clutch. And so, you be praying, you be going in, and then sometimes God will say something, and it's like, I had a moment. I was like, you where? Like, so you got to make sure you're hearing him correctly, right? Because that sounded real worldly to me. Like, so, I had to sober myself up in my deep, Ishababaha praise, right? Because I needed answers. And he said it's so cool. He said, I'm in the clutch. So some of you may have heard that and you know what it means, right? And I had heard it, but it didn't really register when I'm seeking God for an answer and he's talking about he in the clutch. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but where are you? So if you've ever followed anything that I say, I love me a good revelation, and I will make me a revelation out of anything. But I'm also going to go to Merriam and Webster, which is the dictionary. And I like to look up words. I like to look up phrases, and I like to look up definitions. So we're going to break this down, because this is going to be your word as you sit here and you finish the rest of 2023. Your word is going to be, it's in the clutch. So go on, get that down in your spirit. And I'm going to try not to preach to y'all, but this is exciting to me. So when we look at the word clutch in itself, clutch is a verb, and it means to grasp or hold with, or as if with the hand or claws, usually strongly, tightly, or suddenly. So if I am in the clutch of God, that means that he is holding firmly to me. That means he is holding strongly to me. That means he is holding tightly. And even sometimes when I found myself in a mess, God will be the God that will come in and clutch me. You ever seen a little kid get yoked up? That is in the clutch. So you may find yourself in this season in the clutch of God. You may be in his clutch because he is holding on to you. You look back over 2023 and it don't even make sense to you how you made it. Y'all, 2023 has been hard. This has been a difficult year, and I know I'm not the only one. So when they ask you how you made it, you need to tell them it was because I was in his clutch. God had me in the clutch. So the other form of the word is to seek, grasp, and to hold. So not only are you maybe in the clutch of God, but as you finish this year, you may need to clutch God. You may need to grab hold of God. So it's not him doing the holding. It is you doing the holding. It was when he wrestled with the angel and he said, I won't let you go until you bless me. Right? I won't let you go until you bless me. And let me tell you his name, because y'all, I'm preaching so hard, I forgot his name. Hold on. Because I ain't going to be up here preaching good and not be able to tell y'all who these people are. Because it just slipped my mind. I won't go. Who is that? My good Bible scholars. Jacob. That's who it was, because Jacob wrestled with the angel. There we go. And so he was wrestling with the angel. And he said, I won't let you go until you bless me. So Jacob had the angel in a clutch. So what is another definition of clutch? So let's go down to the noun form. So that was the verb. So that means I got to be doing something. A verb is an action word. Verb means action. So a noun is a person, place, or thing, right? It is a state of being. So a clutch can also be the hand in the act of grasping or seizing firmly. So God can be clutching me with his clutch. So I also can be clutching. I hope y'all following me. So if God is the one who is clutching me, he uses his strong hand to uphold me. He uses his strong hand to clutch me. It is God who snatches me out of the fiery furnace. It is God who delivers me from the hands of my enemies. So clutch can also be a noun. It also means control, power, or possession. I hope y'all are following me this morning, this afternoon, because y'all, this blessed me. So let's look at the adjective. Here's where I want y'all to get ready to just run around your little room and shout. So we talked about the verb form of clutching, right? We talked about what that means. We talked about what a noun form of clutch is. But here is an adjective. So this goes back to what I said in the beginning when I asked God where he was, and he said, you can find me in the clutch. So when we look at in the clutch, it means to be made done in a crucial situation. In the clutch means it is done in a crucial situation. You are right here at the end of 2023. Many of you are holding on to what God told you at the beginning of the year. You have waited for his promises to manifest. You know what God told you, but you don't see it. Late in the midnight hour, God is going to turn it around. That's when it works in your favor. So we can't count out what God is able to do because he says, tell my people they can find me in the clutch. So that means that God is going to come through right in the nick of time. That means that God may not come when I want him, but he is always on time. So no matter what you find yourself facing today, no matter what you have been holding on to throughout this year, God says that he is in the clutch. That means he's going to show up when it looks like all hope is lost. That means God is going to move on your behalf when you thought that it was over. Sometimes God has to wait till we get to the end of ourselves in order for him to move. Because as long as you are doing things in your own might, as long as you're doing things in your own strength, God can't get glory out of that because you did that. You will only find God in the clutch, in the situation that you can't move on your own. Because if you were able to do it by your own might, you would have done it all the way. So God says, when you're ready, you will find me in the clutch. Stop looking for God the way that you used to look for him. You keep saying, well, God, you said, and then we get so discouraged and we just give up on the promises of God because okay, God, you don't want me to have it. Okay, God, I'll wait till next year. He says, no, find me in the clutch. He is in the clutch. When you think about games, like I really don't watch sports, but I did a little bit of research on what in the clutch means. Typically when it comes to a sports game, right, or some sort of event where they're keeping track of points, they will put that person in at the last minute. The team is down by 3, and they know that they got that 3-point shooter on the team. You, that 3-point shooter. God will wait until the last minute and put you in, and he will supernaturally move on your behalf. That is in the clutch. When the odds are stacked up against you and they've already counted you out, God says, no, that's my 3-point shooter. So now he will come through in the clutch. In the clutch is meaning that it is a critical situation. In the clutch means that it is a dire situation. What are you facing today that if you say, God, if you don't do it, I don't know how it's going to be done. If you don't move on my behalf, it's not going to happen. God, you said, put him in remembrance of his word. There's 21 days left in this year. And we will not hang up our hat and hang up our faith in the ability that God is able to do it. Where does God get glory? God can only get glory out of those situations that seem impossible. Come on, Job. They told him to curse God and die. Somebody has told you already, man, you just need to forget God. He ain't gonna move for you. But it was in the clutch. Job was given double for his trouble, right? But he came through in the clutch. I think about the 3 Hebrew boys who were put in the fiery furnace, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were put in. God came through in the clutch. What about Daniel when he was in the lion's den? And I think about all of these situations, and I have to be honest, because God is a God that could have made it so they didn't even have to go through that situation. If you think about it, the 3 Hebrew boys didn't have to be put in the fiery furnace. God could have delivered them before they were put in there. Why did Daniel have to go in the lion's den? Why did God allow Job to be tested? Why? Did you ever sit back and ask yourself, if God has all power, why did he allow these things to happen? So that he could get glory. So stop crying out to God, asking him, why are these things happening to you? Or why are these things not happening for you? Why not you? Why not you? God will get glory out of every piece of your life. The good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So we are in a God is going to get glory season. It don't feel good. It don't look good. It makes no natural sense. But God is saying to you today, just hold on a little while longer. Don't you give up. I chose you because I knew that I could get glory. You are divinely selected for times such as this. God picked you because he knew that you could handle it. God picked you because he knew that as those that are watching you are walking through, their faith will come up. Right? We sing these songs in church. Lord, have your way. God, you can get glory. But then when we're put in a situation for God to get glory, we back down. Or now we cry, God, deliver me. No. We sing these songs. So stop singing these songs in church if you don't mean it. We say, Lord, I give myself away. I give myself away so that you can use me. Okay, so when he tries to use you, why do you now make him try to rethink what he already said? Right? We sing these songs and God will hold us to what we say. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. It don't matter if you was caught up in a worship moment. It does not matter. You sang it, so God has said, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Purify your heart. Set you on fire. Got it. Let me go and send you this fiery trial real quick and see how much you're going to be singing and worshiping. But God does these things so that he can get glory. God will put you on display and have you walk through incredible trials, incredible circumstances. That when you get on the other side of it, you will know that it was nobody but God. And those that are watching you walk through it, they will have the testimony. You know what? That was nobody but God. But we give up so quickly when things get uncomfortable. We want to throw in the towel because it don't feel good. But if you would just wait to see the goodness of the Lord, he says that before this year is out, somebody need to catch this. Before the year is out, today to the end of the year is exactly 21 days. God says, I am in the clutch. I am in the clutch. So if you're asking where God is in that situation, your testimony needs to be, oh, he in the clutch. And you need to mean that with confidence. Get your faith up. It is not over. God needs but a moment in your faith. There is so much that God is able to do in 21 days. But the person that's watching this, you had already counted God out. You had already said, okay, God, I'll wait till next year. I'm here to declare and decree that you will not. You will go back to God and remind him of what he promised you. We are supposed to put him in remembrance of his word. What are you saying? What are you declaring and decreeing in this season? There is too much that is on the line. How dare you go into a new year leaving everything that God has promised you? You just gonna give up? So if I come to your house and walk in and say, I'm gonna take all your stuff, you just gonna let me? You not. You gonna fight me. Some of us fight for things in the natural more than we would ever fight for things in the spiritual. We are spiritual beings living in a natural world. So your perspective is off. We need to be fighting for the things that are spiritual. You need to contend. 21 days before this year is out. That may be a 21-day fast for somebody. Don't you dare give up on God. We are too close to the finish line. And when I tell you he dropped that thing in my spirit about how he was in the clutch, listen, you can't convince me otherwise. Because I don't come live. Y'all that know, I don't do lives. And I need to do them more, but I've been giving y'all my little gym revelations because they 90 seconds. I'm in and I'm out. But this one couldn't be a gym revelation. Trust me, I tried to figure out how I could say all this in 90 seconds. It wasn't happening. So while I was, looking halfway decent on this good Sunday afternoon, I said, okay, God, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to be obedient and tell the people what is on your heart. God is in the clutch, y'all. He is moving now. I'm telling you. I feel it deep down in my soul, like so many of you. I just want to encourage you. God is in the clutch. He is still able to do whatever it is that you've been expecting him to do all year. Why not come through at the last minute? What a testimony. What a testimony that you will have of your faith. Trying to disconnect. Maybe. Lord, we're going to have for 30 minutes, y'all. It's time for me to get off. Lord have mercy. So I be saying I'll be coming 5 minutes. 30 minutes later, we still on here trying to disconnect me. But what a testimony would it be for you to have that in the last month, the last few weeks, maybe even the last few days of 2023, that God showed up, that he did it. Get your faith up. Get your hope up. I just need you to believe again. Because God is in the clutch. Be blessed.